Come and drink a little whiskey. Come and drink a little whiskey. You and me and the devil makes three, so come and drink a little whiskey.
On with the whiskey.
On with the whiskey. All right. I decided when we had to choose what it was we should taste, I decided to go a little bit retro here and relive my youth.
Do you remember any of it?
Renew the youth. I remember some of it. What I do remember was lots and lots and lots of this. And this is, so we're going to talk about Southern Comfort, because even though in my youth I drank gallons, I'm not exaggerating. Gallons.
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 With a G.
Plural. Gallons. More than 1 gallon of Southern Comfort while singing Southern rock. We won't talk about all that. I didn't really know much of anything about it except that it tasted like caramel, and I really liked it. So, fast forward many years later, and we're going to talk about it. I did some research, and it turns out it's fairly interesting. So, started by an Irish boy, if you can believe it.
Go figure.
1874. His name was Martin Wilkes Heron. He was born in Ireland, but his family moved to America very, very early. He was in New Orleans, raised in New Orleans. He was bartending in 1874, and at the time, the whiskeys were very harsh, and people complained, do you have anything less harsh than this whiskey? Heron began to mix spices and fruit in with this very harsh, whatever whiskey they could get is what they used. Started mixing it, he would use orange peels and cloves and things of that nature. It was lovely. It looked, when they originally called it cuffs and buttons, cuffs after the orange peels and buttons, because the cloves look like buttons. Apparently that was hard to say. After 3 or 4 shots, we'll try to say it a bunch and see if cuffs and buttons is indeed hard to say. Cuffs and buttons.
Are you gonna hit that T real hard as a button?
No.
And I had a friend who used to say button.
Button. Well, technically we're supposed to say button because we're Cockney a little bit.
Anyway, hard to say. I don't want to order cuffs and buttons to drink.
I would.
She would. But then again. All right. So anyway. He moved to Memphis. A company by the name of Brown-Forman bought it. The whiskey moved to Memphis. And there it was patented in 1889. They patented none, and their slogan was none genuine but mine. And I like that they still print that on the back.
None genuine.
You can see none genuine but mine.
That's a bold claim.
That was Heron's claim to fame. But at the time, after he died in the 1900s, they quit using the local whiskeys to make it, the new company. They started using grain-neutral spirits instead, mixing it with just the fruits and spices. It wasn't as good. And if you don't know what a grain-neutral spirit is, many of you will, it's an alcohol, ethanol, that they distill over and over and over again. It makes a colorless and a tasteless, very high content, alcohol content whiskey distillate, basically.
Tasteless
And colorless.
Really?
And they don't age it. It's just added.
They distill it several times. It's very purified. They even call it rectified. I want to be rectified. I want to be the rectified witch. Can I be?
No.
No, miss.
I don't think anyone. Well,
does that suit
I'm
me?
Sure.
No.
Rectified witch.
Purified by distillation.
That sounds painful.
I did a lot of my 20s.
Get out of the fat, Morla.
Did I mention gallons? Did I mention gallons? All right. Anyway, I was probably
drank so
rectified
much.
in my 20s.
Yeah, you drank so much of
All
it. You're purified.
Moves all the impurities. Now, that was difficult to say. All right. So, We have it won some awards. It was at the Paris World Fair in 1900, won a gold medal.
So was I.
Also at the St. Louis World Fair in 1904, also won it. That's when it obtained the name the Grand Old Drink of the South, which it used to read on the front, and I don't think it reads that anymore. The labels have changed several times, and you may remember the oval one, which was from my day, with the plantation on the front and the pretty horse and buggy. That was the front label, and here they show it's small on the back. But anyway, that was known as the Grand Old Drink of the South. Then, let me see, what year? They sold it back in 2016. It got sold again to the Sazerac Company. Now it is back in New Orleans where it began. Now they are in Sazerac. Back in Sazerac. That could be a good song.
Back in Sazerac.
Oh, I see. This is something. So so now it's back in New Orleans. They stopped using the grain neutral spirits. It didn't really bring any flavor. Now they do use all North American whiskeys as the base of this. So it could be rye, could be bourbon, it could be Canadian, or any kind of blend, but the company doesn't disclose what they use, which is very interesting.
Really?
So, sort of a mystery
Does
still.
it change?
It doesn't change. It could change. Maybe it changes.
Huh.
But they won't tell us. So,
Interesting.
it is not technically classified as a whiskey.
Really?
They classify it as a liqueur. If you've ever had it, you know how sweet it really is. And they
Do you know, I don't know that I've ever had it.
classify it as a liqueur.
I've never had it either.
Why have I
never had it?
I am literally from Southern.
Very southern.
Well, I don't know. I think we were not drinking. We were drinking Mad Dog 2020, and just I know. Don't get me like that.
We don't have to confess. We've all done it. We don't have to confess it. Some things are better not discussed, especially when you.
I once licked an old frog. I feel better.
Well,
I feel better now. Get that off my chest.
I've never licked a frog.
I've never
Well, I
licked a
got
frog.
that off my chest.
No. All right.
Good on you, mate.
Really?
There's a lot of
I'm
things on
glad
my
I got that
chest,
off my
but
chest.
I'm not going to unburden them here.
Bonus points if you can tell us in the comments what movie we were just referencing. Bet you can't.
Spoiler: the points get you nothing.
No,
Anyway.
but they get you our respect.
Just respect.
I didn't know. I might come up with a mediocre award at some point.
We're gonna taste it.
Our second keychain. We are.
I didn't know. I've got some pins left.
Oh, pins
Oh, pins and
with our
pins.
faces
All right.
on.
With our faces on it.
Good.
Right.
All right.
So this is our liqueur.
Our liqueur.
To comfort from the south.
To comfort, you can. We should post the portrait. One of the biggest claims to fame was that, coincidentally, it was also the favorite drink of Miss Janis Joplin.
Oh,
That
name is holy to me.
You find
Sorry.
many portraits of her with
this
pint of Southern Comfort in hand, or
Janis Joplin.
yes, fifth. She was featured in so many pictures holding a bottle of Southern Comfort.
Really?
To thank her for her free publicity, they bought her a fur coat, a matching hat, and there are portraits, many of those, in her Southern Comfort hat.
The funny part is she probably wasn't trying to give them publicity. She was just
she was
holding
drinking
Southern Comfort.
lots and lots of Southern Comfort. Yes, and loving it, and so.
All right, to Janice though.
All right.
It's
But if
Janice.
they want to give us fur coats, they can.
But I am a big supporter, and I don't have a free fur coat. So
To
here's
Janice.
to Janice. You're going to notice just caramel, bombardment of caramel on this.
Why haven't I been drinking Southern Comfort?
It is
the question.
delicious.
I don't know.
This comes
I
in
can
an
taste the
original,
orange too, though.
which is this. You get some orange. You do get zest.
Hello, Sherlock.
They have a. This is the
Come
new
on, say
one.
hello to everyone.
It comes in a original, which is
Sherlock,
80 proof.
the dog.
It comes in. This is 42 proof.
He doesn't
This
want
is
to.
very
Use
mild.
it.
It comes in an 80. Comes in. This is the new
Nope.
one, the black, which is a smoky, delicious. Uses for this, anything. It's the best in a hot toddy and a nice.
Oh,
hot
I know
toddy.
it
It's
is
definitely hot
the-
toddy. That's
the best in a hot toddy. But you can mix it with virtually anything under the sun. My favorite is just like this.
Just like this.
Or
Why do you need to?
if
Yes.
it's available, a little bit of lime juice in it's wonderful too.
Oh, that does.
42 proof.
SoCo and lime. This is the very
Wow.
mild one.
Very interesting. So, is this also a liqueur? Is this a whiskey?
The black, I believe it's still a liqueur.
Mm.
They've added the smoky
Is this smoky? Is it?
flavor to that one.
That's really
It's
interesting.
very good. It's very, very good.
It's like perfectly in the middle of a liqueur and a whiskey to me.
Mhm.
It doesn't taste like. It's almost not either. It's like perfectly in the middle.
It's not. It's not thick.
It's not
At
thick
all.
like a liqueur,
No,
which
it's
I
not
think of
saccharine
as
sweet. It's
Right. I like it.
perfect. Wow, you can tell someo's really put
Yes.
effort into this over the years.
For many, many,
Thank
many,
you
many years.
for
Thank
all
you.
of your gallons of research
I
on this.
researched it by the gallon.
Didn't you used to? Why do I have an image in my head of you in a leather jacket with a bottle of this in your jacket?
Because I wore a
Did you tell
leather
me about
jacket and I always had a bottle of this in the pocket.
I thought so.
Kind
I
of
feel
like-
like you told me that once and I couldn't remember. I love that image.
If I was unable to carry my flask or pint bottle because of whatever reason, after I had my first child, they gave us these little when you're gonna pump milk, they give you little breastfeeding bottles. And they were round cylinders about yay tall, had a little lid on them. They were perfect for the vest pocket of your leather jacket to fill approximately 4 ounces of whiskey in each one. Zoop, zoop, zoop. Slide them in like little test tubes. Perfect for concerts and such.
That's the best thing I've ever heard in my
I
whole
never
life.
left home without some in my pocket.
Love it.
Amazing.
I love it.
That's incredible. Mola's been rocking
Gallons.
since forever. Gallons.
Gallons.
Gallons and gallons.
This
I
and
love
Jack
it.
Daniels.
Really?
Yeah.
I could get very drunk on
It's
this.
very
Oh,
good.
yes.
And it never,
Easily. Oh, sorry. That,
As sweet
and it's
as
a really
as
pretty
sweet
colour.
as it is, it's very very caramelly color.
It is. It's got a little red. I love a redhead. I do
A
love
little
a
bit of
redhead.
red, a little hint of red.
Little hint of
It's a good one.
I really like it. Good choice. A classic.
It's retro. It's a classic, but
It's a classic.
I really didn't know really anything about
Anything
it.
about it.
And sometimes you miss out on, exactly. You miss out on the old classics because people
Because I
overlook them. We just take them
We
for
take
granted.
them for granted.
We do.
But I mean, there's been such an uptick in whiskey in general and whiskey drinking over the last like 10, 20 years, and knowing that as this wave, rises and falls, this will still be there because it's been around for so long. It's not going to go anywhere. There's still
So the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
Like us. Look at Mola. She doesn't look a
We're
day.
much older than we look.
She doesn't look a day over 400. She's a lot older than
Just the day over 400. but I don't
that.
know. 401 day.
At
I don't look a
401.
day over 400, do I?
Was it your birthday yesterday?
No.
Okay. Let's drink to your
Never.
unbirthday.
There are no birthdays.
Oh, very,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
unbirthday.
We are not. It's an estimate, really.
Oh, no.
And
She
then
drank it all. Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh, I was so sad.
I
I was really sad. I went,
thought
oh,
it was very small.
thank you. Oh,
I don't know why.
get you a sister keeps your glass full. I love you guys.
And we love you too.
We love you too.